So, buckle up, because this time in DanDaDan, it's going to be next-level madness. Aliens, ghosts, and romantic chaos all clashing head-on. Momo and Okarun have taken on a brand new mission, to exorcise the ghosts haunting Gigi's house. But little do they know, the real danger lurking inside that house isn't just spiritual, it's buried secrets, twisted and terrifying ones. And behind those secrets, even darker mysteries that threaten to consume them all. Will Okarun and Momo be able to uncover the truth, or will they get trapped in this new nightmare? Let's dive in. Momo is suddenly surrounded by strange people, creeping in closer. Instinctively, she lashes out using her powers to fend them off. But one man grabs her by the wrists and shoves her underwater. Just when it seems like she's done for, Momo surges back, launching an attack that shatters the hot spring dummy nearby. Scalding water bursts out. Dodging the chaos, Momo bolts. The men give chase until a chunk of the hot spring wall collapses right on them, giving her the perfect chance to escape. Or so she thinks. One guy grabs her again, right as another section of the wall crashes down, burying everyone except Momo. Confused, she looks around, and there's Turbo Granny. Yep, the same creepy spirit, now just casually soaking in the hot spring. Turns out, she had snuck into Momo's bag to enjoy the spa too. Even cursed spirits need me time, apparently. The real spa staff shows up, but instead of helping, the people chasing Momo start harassing them. We then learn these thugs belong to the infamous Kito family, a group known locally for causing supernatural trouble. Momo confronts Turbo Granny about Gigi's house, and that's when she drops a bomb. The house has absorbed a lot of human blood over the years. Yikes. Meanwhile, Gigi and Okarun are inside, staring at the hole they punched in the wall, totally stumped. They decide to wait for Momo before going further. Suddenly, the doorbell rings. They both think it must be Momo, but it's not. It's the Kito family women. Without asking, they barge in and start eating their snacks. Turns out, one of them is Gigi's landlady, and she had previously forgiven his rent. So Gigi can't really tell her off. Okarun is confused. Gigi explains, after his parents were hospitalized, the Kito family helped him out by waiving his rent. That's how he ended up living here in the first place. One woman starts interrogating Gigi about where he went earlier. He lies, saying he just went to pick up a friend. But they're not buying it. She suspects he's brought in another spirit medium. The other women get angry, insisting the house is ghost-free and he shouldn't spread rumors. Gigi defends Okarun, saying he's not a medium. One of the women pulls a gun. Yeah, a real gun. Gigi tries to calm her down, saying she could get into serious trouble with the police if she keeps threatening people. And speak of the devil, a cop walks in. But plot twist, he's also with the Kito family, and he helps the goons who were chasing Momo escape justice. Everyone thanks him like he's some kind of hero. Another man asks Gigi again where he went. Gigi sticks to his story. He was just picking up his best friend. But again, they don't believe him, so they decide to test Okarun. They ask him, what's Gigi's favorite soccer team? Because if Okarun is really his best friend, he should know that, right? Okarun answers it perfectly. Turns out, they had used Gigi's favorite soccer poster to cover the hole they made in the wall. With that, the family finally accepts that Okarun is Gigi's true friend. But now, one of the women starts asking about Momo. Gigi dodges the question. Too late, the women realize he's lying. Cut to Momo. She's arrived at a mysterious temple to see a creature called Tsuchinoko. The priest there is filming a video for BooTuber, yep, Ghost YouTube, and takes Momo to show her the creature, which looks like a snake's shed skin. Momo is skeptical. The priest tells her that once the dragon heads toward heaven, a rainbow will appear, and then the mountain's rage will flood the village. People believe there's a giant serpent inside the volcano, and when it's hungry, it erupts. So to prevent that, villagers used to sacrifice a child to the serpent. They've been doing this for over 200 years to keep the volcano calm. Now, with Tsuchinoko here, they believe it's protecting them, and human sacrifices have stopped. But the priest, he's tired of all this folklore. He wants to become a famous BooTuber. Momo casually suggests, if you want to be a BooTuber, why aren't you posting this story? That shocks him. Disappointed, Momo leaves and heads back home, excited to see how well Okarun and Gigi are bonding. But when she walks in, she finds the house in complete chaos. The Kito family has gone full cult mode. One woman announces that all the sacrifices have been gathered. Now the festival can begin. Momo doesn't hesitate. She launches into a full-on battle against the Kito men, using her powers to smash them down. But they swarm her with sheer numbers. Still, she refuses to go down easy. Suddenly, one man grabs her from behind and knocks her out cold. Turbo Granny bursts out, spooking the attacker. Momo asks for help, but Turbo Granny refuses. Momo tries to warn everyone to leave, but the cult just laughs. One woman attacks Momo, launching her into a room, the same one with the wall Gigi and Okarun had broken. There, we learn the horrifying truth. That woman? She's their mother, and she demands to know what kind of power Momo is using. Momo asks about the old woman, Turbo Granny. Turbo Granny simply calls herself a powerful old hag. Momo doesn't believe her, until Turbo Granny reminds her of her own grandmother. That hits deep. Suddenly, Momo starts to believe. But then, she smells something foul from the room. The older woman tells her, the Kito family has been protecting this village for generations. If you're here to stop our festival, we won't let you. She explains. For 200 years, they've been sacrificing people to the serpent god to keep the peace. The very house they're in, built specifically for sacrifices. The Kito family brings victims here and feeds them to the god. Momo's heart drops. She realizes Gigi and his family were invited here as sacrifices. Suddenly, the ground beneath Momo collapses. She tries to escape using her powers, but the Kito cultists force her back down, determined to feed her to the god. Just then, Okarun and Gigi crash down from above, sofa in hand, fighting to rescue her. But they all fall, landing deep underground. And what do they find there? A hidden subterranean village, homes, darkness, silence. And then, Gigi slips, falling straight onto something massive. A grotesque, snake-like monster. The cultists go wild, worshipping it. They declare Momo, Okarun, and Gigi as offerings to the great beast. Okarun panics. It's the Mongolian deathworm, a legendary creature known for devouring people. But even he's never seen one this huge. Despite Momo's warning, none of the cultists listen. And the deathworm? It eats them instead. The trio runs, taking shelter in one of the nearby houses. But as soon as they enter, Momo and Okarun clutch their heads. A sharp pain strikes their minds. Something's wrong. Okarun begins to lose control of Turbo Granny's power, his body morphing, turning into her. And now, he's headed straight toward Gigi. Momo and Okarun had set out to save Gigi, but now, they're the ones caught in a deadly monster trap. The Kito family has turned on them, offering them up as live sacrifices. And now, a grotesque, jointed deathworm is on the move, hungry and closing in. Can the trio survive this terrifying creature? Or is something even darker waiting for them in the shadows below? Let's find out. The situation grows worse. Okarun's out of control, thrashing wildly and trying to hurt himself. Gigi tries to stop him, but Okarun strikes him and continues hurting himself with a blade, stabbing himself in a frenzy. Gigi grabs him again, desperately trying to hold him back. But then, the deathworm attacks. That's when Gigi realizes something terrifying. The worm is using sound vibrations to track them. It can't see or hear them, but it feels their voices echoing through the underground walls. The moment they stay quiet, the monster loses them. Gigi tries to silence Okarun again, but Okarun refuses, rambling about wanting to die. Hearing that, Gigi flashes back to a heartbreaking memory. One day, he returned home from school and found his parents attempting suicide. He saved them, but they begged him to let them die. The trauma, the confusion, it all rushes back. Then suddenly, Momo picks up a shard of glass and drives it into her stomach. But she hits Turbo Granny, who had jumped in between. In pain, Turbo Granny yells at Gigi to tie them both up, fast. Gigi does it, confused and shaken, and demands to know what's happening. Turbo Granny explains. The deathworm is emitting psychic signals. Its power causes suicidal thoughts in anyone nearby. That's when it finally clicks for Gigi. That's why his parents tried to end their lives. But he still doesn't get it. Why isn't he affected like the others? Before Turbo Granny can answer, Momo hurls another shard of glass using her psychic power, intending to harm herself again. Gigi jumps in and blocks it, just in time. But that noise, the worm locks onto them. Gigi begins feeling a strange sensation, and bolts with Momo, Okarun, and Turbo Granny in his arms, trying to escape. But he stumbles, falls. Momo and Okarun break free, trying to flee on their own. And that's when the deathworm arrives. Suddenly, Gigi is enveloped in darkness. and another monstrous figure appears in front of him. This one is called Evil Eye. Turbo Granny explains, if Evil Eye looks at someone, they go insane, and soon after, they commit suicide. But Evil Eye is also the reason the Deathworm's psychic signals are weakening. It's not saving them intentionally, it just cancels out the worm's signal. Realizing this, Momo tells Okarun to attack while they have the chance. Okarun, powered by Turbo Granny, charges up and blows the Deathworm's head clean off. Victory? Not quite. The worm regenerates, snapping back with even more rage. They start running again. Turbo Granny warns everyone, avoid looking into Evil Eye's eyes, no matter what. And just then, Gigi realizes his parents didn't die because of Evil Eye. They died because of something far worse. Suddenly, Evil Eye steps in front of Gigi, and Gigi is pulled into a vision. Flashback. We see the village, long ago. Evil Eye was once just a boy. Watching children play from afar, he dreams, if only I could play with them. But he's trapped, locked up in a dark room, starving. A prisoner destined to be sacrificed to the serpent god. His body weakens, and then the Kito family completes the sacrifice. The volcano erupts. He burns. He dies. But in his final moment, he prays, I wish I could just play with someone. And that wish is granted. Years pass. A house is built over his old prison, and a boy living there begins to see him. But the moment he does, his parents die. One by one, more houses are built over the same place. More deaths follow. All because, under the surface, the Deathworm was still alive, manipulating everything, twisting the innocent wish of a boy into a trail of death. But Evil Eye, he just wanted to play. He sees the Kito family matriarch again. She's burying a child alive, next to a house. Evil Eye tries to save him, but he's powerless. And that's when he decides, I'll never forgive anyone. I'll kill them all. Back in the present, Gigi wakes up from the vision. Momo tries to snap him out of it, pull Evil Eye away from him. But Gigi stops her. He tells her, Evil Eye isn't evil. He's been fighting the Deathworm all along. He's just suffered too much. Determined, Gigi dives deep into the lowest basement, hoping to find Evil Eye's original body. To set him free, Momo is confused. Turbo Granny tries to stop Gigi, insisting that Evil Eye is dangerous and deserves no sympathy. But Gigi says, he's just like me. We should believe in him. Suddenly, the Deathworm strikes with a burst of electricity, trapping them in a thick, sticky liquid. Momo turns to Turbo Granny and yells, What happened to my good luck? Granny replies, Your good luck? Right now, it's with the enemy. Momo loses it. Meanwhile, poor Okarun is too drained to move after using his powers. Momo struggles to escape the goo, but Gigi is now fully influenced by Evil Eye. He reaches out to him, whispers, I understand your pain. I'll stay with you forever. Let's play. And just like that, Evil Eye fully possesses Gigi. Right as the Deathworm launches another electric strike, the worm lunges at Momo, but bam! Gigi, now transformed into Evil Eye, kicks the worm away. Now fully awakened, Evil Eye grins. He turns to the humans. Let me show you what hell really looks like. Momo tries to talk him down, but Turbo Granny shouts for her to stay back. Too late. Evil Eye attacks Momo. She deflects with her psychic powers, barely. Turbo Granny warns him to stop, but Evil Eye doesn't listen. Momo pleads with Gigi to wake up, but Evil Eye responds coldly. This body is mine now. The Deathworm attacks again, but Evil Eye blasts it back, then gathers all the gadgets and tools from the corpses littering the area. He compresses them into a glowing metal ball, and with a manic grin, starts playing soccer with it. Using it as a weapon, he launches it at the Deathworm again and again. The monster, overwhelmed, retreats, slipping away through a tunnel. Momo watches, stunned. She turns to Turbo Granny. What's happening to Gigi? Granny sighs. She recalls how Momo's grandmother always said, Gigi is a genius, and now Momo finally understands. Gigi has massive spiritual power and an equally powerful body. The perfect target for possession. Momo asks, but he wasn't like this as a kid. What changed? Granny answers, just like your powers awakened with age. Gigi's are now awakening too. And now, he is Evil Eye. Suddenly, Evil Eye hurls his weapon ball straight at Momo. She blocks it. Barely. But he rushes in and kicks her, launching her across the room. He charges up the ball again, ready to finish her. But just in time, Okarun steps in. and the sheer power of his and Evil Eye's clash. Previously, Evil Eye had taken over Gigi and launched a ruthless attack on Momo, but just in time, Okarun jumped in between them. Now the question is, can Okarun really stand a chance against the overwhelming power of Evil Eye? Or will Momo have to save him once again? Let's dive into what happens next. Okarun tries his best to block Evil Eye's attack, but he's clearly being overpowered. Realizing he can't win in a straight-up fight, he grabs Momo and decides they need to escape. Fast. But Evil Eye isn't about to let them off easy. He starts hurling his energy balls at them while they dodge left and right. Momo does everything she can to help Okarun, but even together, they're no match. Their only real option? Run. That's when they spot something strange. The Deathworm seems to be doing something ominous. Momo asks what's going on, and Okarun explains. Deathworms weaken their enemies using electric shocks and poisonous sprays. It's how they kill. Momo immediately realizes they have to get out. Now. But then comes the problem. How exactly do they escape? The only exit is way above them. There's no way they can reach that high on their own. Does this Deathworm have a weakness? Momo wonders aloud. Okarun recalls something he once read in a magazine. These creatures are similar to bacteria, and just like bacteria, they can't stand sunlight. That's it. The plan becomes clear. They need to drag the worm into sunlight. But how? And most importantly, what about Gigi? They can't just leave him behind. I'll help you escape on your own, Momo, Okarun says. No way, I'm not leaving you, she snaps. We don't have time to argue. Once you're up there, you'll figure out a way to pull us up, he insists. That's fine, but how are you even going to get Gigi? He's not even listening to us. Just trust me, Momo. I will bring Gigi. But for now, please, just get out. Momo finally agrees. Okarun transforms and seats Momo on a couch. Yes, a literal couch, with the plan to launch her out of the pit. Momo gets scared and tells him to stop, but Okarun doesn't listen. With a powerful kick, he launches her upward. Momo uses her psychic powers mid-air to push herself further up. But even that's not enough. She starts falling again, until she manages to grab the edge of the pit and finally pulls herself out. Meanwhile, Evil Eye locates Okarun and prepares for battle. The two clash again. Now that Momo is above ground, she tries to find a rope or something to help pull the others out, but there's nothing. Thinking quickly, she rips the curtains and ties them into a makeshift rope. But the moment she throws it down, she realizes this flimsy rope won't hold. She shifts her plan. What if I just destroy the Deathworm instead? That's when a memory hits her, something Gigi once told her. Inspired, Momo sets the entire house on fire and begins shouting for the fire brigade at the top of her lungs. Back underground, Evil Eye is playing football, with Okarun as the ball. But let's be honest, this match is one-sided. Okarun is barely managing to dodge. Then Evil Eye switches the game, turning it into a brutal head kick tournament. He combines his football strikes with vicious punches, putting Okarun through hell. Still, Okarun endures. Stop running around like a rat, Evil Eye yells. You're irritating me. Good, Okarun replies, bloodied but determined. Because I want to take this fight seriously. I want to use all my power. At that same moment, Gigi starts bleeding from the nose, a result of the Deathworm's poison. Evil Eye notices and decides to end the fight right now. Using his football, he traps Okarun in a psychic space, a sort of mind prison. Inside, Okarun hears the screams of all those sacrificed by the Kito family, voices filled with pain and horror. He tries to break free, but fails. Then Evil Eye enters the space too, engaging Okarun in close combat. Blow after blow, he batters Okarun with ruthless delight. This is fun, isn't it? Evil Eye grins. After you, I'm going to torture that girl. Suddenly, Okarun grabs Evil Eye by the face. You've crossed the line, he says coldly. There are some things you just don't do, and you've done 3 of them. 1, you hurt Momo. 2, you possessed my friend. Gigi would never hurt Momo, and you made him do it. So now, give me my friend back. Evil Eye attacks again, but this time Okarun ducks and delivers a full-speed punch to his gut. Then, channeling all his fury, Okarun unleashes a storm of blows. Punch after punch, 5 full sets of 20 punches rain down on Evil Eye. The psychic space shatters. Evil Eye goes flying out and passes out. And the third thing you should never have done, Okarun mutters as he collapses, was make me angry. Okarun blacks out, but soon after, he regains consciousness. He knows he has to get up, quickly, before Momo returns to help. He lifts Gigi's unconscious body and prepares to carry him up, but then he hears a familiar voice. It's Turbo Granny, trapped in the death worm's poisonous fluid. She's panicking, thinking she's going to be stuck forever. But Okarun appears just in time. She breaks down in tears. Overjoyed, Okarun begins building a wooden bridge across the poisonous fluid to reach her, and pulls her out with all his strength. But the moment she gets free, they both fall into the goo. "You're so useless," Granny shouts. "Why didn't you use my powers, idiot? I already used your power twice today. I can't transform again. So what? We're just going to die now," she screams. "Guess it's time to say our goodbyes," he says. "Maso, please save us." They both scream. Cut to the surface. The fire brigade has arrived, trying to extinguish the flames. The police begin interrogating Momo, asking if she started the fire. She admits it, and begins exposing the Kito family's crimes. But the police don't believe her, and ask her to come to the station. Momo doesn't have time. The sun is about to set. She begs the firemen to spray a ton of water into the ground, but no one listens. Suddenly the ground rumbles. An earthquake. People scream. The death worm bursts out of the house, shattering the walls. Everyone panics. And finally, Momo's plan becomes clear. The sunlight begins to burn the worm. Flashback. Momo and Gigi's childhood. "Momo, do you know why earthworms come out of the ground when it rains?" "No idea." "They breathe through their skin. So when the soil absorbs water, they can't breathe and are forced to the surface, but the heat kills them. That's why it's called earthworm suicide." Back to the present. The firemen had drenched the underground chamber with water, suffocating the death worm. In a panic, it surfaced, only to be met with sunlight. The death worm hides behind the house's remaining walls. Momo sees this, and without hesitation, lifts a fire truck and smashes the house apart. The death worm starts to burn, and finally collapses. Momo approaches to check if it's truly dead. But the worm twitches. She gasps, and then the worm vomits out the entire Kito family. "You're all still alive?" "That's insane." The head of the Kito family snarls. "How dare you betray the serpent god? How could you do this to him?" Momo fires back. "You're still defending him? He ate you, remember?" "Sorry, but I don't have time for this. I have to go save Okarun and the others." Suddenly, the ground shakes again. A volcano erupts in the distance. Momo looks up, stunned. The true threat has only just begun. The entire village is informed about the imminent volcanic eruption, and people are ordered to evacuate their homes. Just then, the head of the Kito family steps forward and says, "I told you, the serpent god held back the volcano only because of the sacrifices we made. But you destroyed everything, even killed the serpent god." She continues, "It's said that when the dragon rises to the heavens, a rainbow will appear, and soon after, the wrath of the mountain will destroy the entire village. And look, now the whole village is going to be destroyed. You will have to take responsibility for this." Momo stands there thinking, this doesn't make any sense. Deathworms can't even survive under the sun, so why did the ancient legends say that a dragon would rise to the heavens? She looks at the Kito family in frustration and says, "You're all fools. The story wasn't about a serpent god. The dragon rising to heaven wasn't literal. It meant the fountain. The fountain we saw earlier was a sign that the volcano was about to erupt. The people back then must have known and left these stories behind. But everyone misunderstood." Momo then lifts the deathworm's body and throws it down the mountainside. The Kito family is enraged. She starts running downhill, determined to take the deathworm's body to the fountain she saw while bathing. The Kito family chases after her, trying to stop her from what they see as disrespect to their god. But Momo ignores them, places part of the deathworm's body on the fountain, and starts heading back toward its mouth. If the volcano's magma destroys the entire village, the Kito family's prophecy will come true. I have to stop it, no matter what. She lifts the deathworm's head, planning to use it like a giant pipe. As water flows in, a liquid from the worm's body starts pouring out of its mouth. She uses it to try and block the flow of magma, but the magma has already spread too far, burning down the forest around it. Just then, the Kito family head kicks Momo hard and yells, "Don't insult our serpent lord like that." Momo responds, "I'm just trying to stop the lava, so get out of my way." The Kito family head shouts, "We protect this land. Outsiders have no business interfering. And now, I'll offer you as a human sacrifice to calm the volcano god." Momo shoots back, "Wow, you switched gods fast. Don't you even care about your serpent god anymore?" The entire Kito clan charges at her, but before they can attack, the temple priest Manjiro arrives and stops them. I didn't know you were my master's granddaughter, he says. Forgive me for being late. Last week, my master called and told me someone would be arriving here that I needed to look after. He didn't say who, but now that I think about it, you're the only one who came this week, so you must be her. The Kito clan turns on Manjiro too, attacking him, but he fends them off and tells Momo to finish what she started. Momo once again lifts the deathworm's body to cool down the lava, but this time it feels much heavier. Suddenly, Evil Eye's orb attacks the worm's body, then starts targeting the Kito family members as well. Evil Eye launches a strike directly at the Kito family head, breaking only her arm before Momo jumps in to save her. Manjiro tries to fight Evil Eye, but he's clearly no match. Momo has to step in and rescue him too. Evil Eye growls, "Why do you keep getting in my way? Maybe I should eliminate you first." "Shut up," Momo shouts. "If you keep this up, you'll die. And I don't want to see Gigi turn into a killer." Then she asks, "Wait, where is the law in all this? What did you even do to him?" Evil Eye calmly says, "I'll talk about what I want to talk about. And right now, I'm hungry." Manjiro whispers, "I didn't think things would spiral like this. This guy is seriously dangerous." The Kito family head cries out, "This is all your fault." Momo responds firmly, "Now's not the time for tears. We have to act." The three of them prepare to face Evil Eye head-on. He launches another attack, but Momo saves them by yelling for everyone to duck. Unfortunately, she puts herself in harm's way and is nearly hit, until Manjiro kicks her out of danger just in time. The Kito family head attacks Evil Eye, but her strike has no effect. He counters immediately, but Momo blocks it once again. With Manjiro's help, Momo manages to trap Evil Eye, but his orb breaks through her psychic powers, and he lashes out at both of them. Momo struggles to use her psychic energy as Evil Eye's attack draws near. Just then, our alien boxer Kappa jumps in and punches Evil Eye, sending him flying backward. Momo looks around, confused, when suddenly a glowing light from a UFO appears. Taro and Grandma descend dramatically, and Kappa's son starts singing to welcome their arrival. Everyone falls silent, watching the scene unfold. Grandma leaps down and joins forces with Kappa to strike Evil Eye, but his orb knocks Kappa away effortlessly. A fierce battle erupts between Grandma and Evil Eye, but none of Evil Eye's attacks can touch her. Kappa tries to jump back in, but he's once again blasted away by the orb. Grandma and Evil Eye clash again, and neither can land a hit. They're perfectly matched. She tells Taro to run. He awkwardly lifts his backside and sprints toward Evil Eye at full speed, only to get smashed by a punch. But that was all part of Grandma's plan. They had planted a sealing device inside Taro's body to trap Evil Eye. As Manjiro chants a binding spell, Taro's body begins fusing with Evil Eye, sealing him within. With the help of the UFO, they lift the deathworm's body and begin cooling the lava. Grandma turns to scold Manjiro. "I told you everything before, didn't I? And still, you let this happen." "Please forgive me," he replies. "But this is really your fault. You never actually told me what to do. In fact, you should be praising me for pulling all this off with so little information." "Fine. I'll admit, you did a decent job. But you should also thank Taro. It's because of him we could seal Evil Eye." Taro mutters, "No one told me anything. And now what do I do with my internal organs?" "Quiet. Just put them in a shopping bag and take them home." Then Momo asks, "Wait, where are Turbo Granny and Okarun?" She realizes she's missing, because she left to save Okarun. Momo is still unable to use her psychic powers, so Kappa uses his boxing skills to clear the debris. They see that the crater where Okarun fell is now filled with magma. Momo instructs Kappa's son to pour Deathworm's liquid over the magma. "What are you doing, Momo?" "I'm going in. It's too dangerous." "I know, but I promised Okarun I'd save him." They try to stop her, but Kappa's son uses the UFO to extract the magma from the pit and cool it with the worm's liquid. As the magma solidifies, Momo tears through it and finds Okarun and Turbo Granny still alive. "If I hadn't tried to save Turbo Granny, I would have died too. The room we were in got sealed with the deathworm's liquid. That's what kept the magma out." "Wait, what about Gigi? Did he fall into the lava?" "Don't worry. He got out somehow." "Then that's a relief. But Momo, I'm sorry. I said I'd look after Gigi, and I didn't." He slips on the liquid and falls on her. He starts apologizing again, but Momo hugs him tight. "No, I should be the one saying sorry. I told you I'd protect you, but I couldn't do anything. I'm just glad you're alive." Then Momo's grandmother, together with everyone, begins reciting spells to calm down Evil Eye. As soon as the spells finish, they check whether Evil Eye has been appeased or not. But the spells have no effect on it. Because of that, they start performing the ritual again, and keep repeating this process over and over. Eventually, they have to admit defeat and return to their city. Then everyone starts eating, and Ira becomes upset because nobody took her along. Because of that, she and Momo begin fighting with each other. Then Ira asks Kappa why he came to Earth in the first place. "I was so happy that you gave me a cow. But once I returned, it didn't give milk. That's why I had to come back. Also, our planet is filled with planetary substances that deliver oxygen directly into our lungs, so that cow couldn't produce milk. Because my son urgently needs milk, we decided to stay on Earth." Karun, upon hearing that oxygen goes straight into Kappa's lungs, becomes extremely excited. He starts asking him questions. Meanwhile, Momo's grandmother and Manjiro are discussing bringing different people to help exorcise Evil Eye. But they haven't found anyone yet. "I feel so bad for Gigi," they say. "It seems he will have to stay like this for a while. But even if we go ahead with the Hayashi performance, will we truly be able to exorcise Evil Eye completely? Evil Eye is one thing, but Gigi's spiritual power is also extremely strong. I don't know whether we can separate them. And even if we manage to succeed, I fear there will still be some effect on Gigi." Then Taro eats something, and Gigi suddenly feels heat inside. He begins screaming and calls out to Momo, but no one believes him. They think Evil Eye is tricking them by using Gigi's voice, so everyone becomes serious. Meanwhile, Turbo Granny is still busy eating and pays no attention. As soon as Taro removes the seal from his face, they see that Gigi looks completely normal again. Momo and Karun breathe a sigh of relief, relieved that they're okay. "I was so worried about you two. Auntie, you're here too. You look just as beautiful as before. This is definitely Gigi. Come on, Momo, get some cold water." As soon as Grandma pours cold water over Gigi, he transforms back into Evil Eye. She immediately throws hot water on him, turning him back into Gigi. But Turbo Granny remains unfazed, focused only on her food. Suddenly, everyone understands. Gigi has been taunting them all, so Momo punches him. "Taro, you can't meet Hana after 10 p.m. anymore. And Gigi, Karun, Momo, please forgive me. If I had known Evil Eye was there, I would have handled the situation myself. It was my responsibility." Just then, Turbo Granny arrives. "Are you kidding me? You really think you could have stopped Evil Eye?" she asks. Evil Eye is a mountain spirit. Its power rivals that of gods. If it possesses an ordinary human being, they go mad and die quickly. That's why it only possesses humans with high spiritual strength to become the ultimate vessel. The Evil Eye we're facing now is like a newborn baby. You could say we escaped a huge danger, but it could become much stronger later on, so I don't think anyone will be able to stop it. Grandma then says, "From now on, Gigi, you must always stay with someone. And until we perform the exorcism, do not leave this city. Outside it, we can't use our barrier's power. Taro's barrier won't hold Evil Eye off for long either. That's why we'll use this hot water thermos. Keep it with you so that whenever Gigi transforms into Evil Eye, you can pour water over him. And Gigi, stay away from cold water. Just one drop could turn you back into Evil Eye." That night, everyone heads back home. We learn that Kappa is staying at a nearby dairy farm so he can get milk easily, with Momo's grandmother's help. Karun asks Kappa about his Yofo, and Kappa reveals his real name is Penny Vinny. Yofo arrives, takes Penny, and drops him off not far from the dairy farm. The next day, everyone goes to meet Gigi's parents at the hospital. Grandma had arranged their transfer to this city. While walking, Momo and Okarun involuntarily touch hands. Okarun blushes and apologizes, but Momo asks him not to worry and gently pushes his hand down. Slowly, Momo takes his hand again, and both of their hearts start racing. Okarun stammers, "Momo, what are you saying? I didn't do anything. I mean your hands. I don't know what game this is or what the rules are. I don't know what you're talking about." At that moment, Gigi ruins their romantic moment, making both blush. Grandma sees everything but says nothing. Gigi meets his parents and begins to cry. On TV, news announces a volcano eruption and warns everyone to stay away. We also learn that the Kito family has been arrested for murder, but their head has escaped, and the police are still looking for her. We see her fleeing into the forest, muttering, "I spent 200 years raising that, and they destroyed it just like that. I will not forgive that, Momo." Later, it's revealed that the head of the Kito family is actually an alien, now poised to do anything to get revenge on Momo. Then, walking to school, Momo and Okarun meet again. "Momo, how's Gigi? And when will the exorcism happen?" Okarun asks. Momo replies, "Gigi's still not okay because the barrier isn't having much effect on Evil Eye anymore. And I don't know when the exorcism will happen. It's like a Hayashi performance done during festivals, meant to entertain Evil Eye so it leaves the body. But no one is ready to perform it yet. So if Taro's barrier fails to work, we'll have to fight again." "You're absolutely right," says Okarun. "And I wanted to ask you something." Just then, Momo's friends arrive and interrupt them. They tell the group that news reports say Yofo was seen near the volcano. They head to school. Meanwhile, Eira is unable to enter her classroom. She had previously admitted to spreading rumors about Momo. Momo arrives, grabs Eira, and escorts her away. Eira confronts her. "Do you want to die? How dare you speak to me that way in front of my class? Being friendly with you damages my popularity." "But Karun, you're different. You can talk to me any time," she adds. "So what did you really want to talk about?" Momo says, "Okarun, Eira, I want you both to spend the night at my house. Right now, Grandma and Manjiro are watching Gigi, but they can't do it all day. So the three of us will take turns keeping watch so they can rest." Eira and Okarun shyly agree. Momo then asks Eira, "Do you have any plans with your friends tonight?" Eira walks away sadly. Momo follows and says, "If having me there causes a rift between you and your friends, then you don't have to come." Eira refuses. "No, this is all my fault." Meanwhile, Taro's barrier fails. He removes his body from over Gigi. Momo, Okarun, and Eira also return home. Poor Taro is trying to call his body back to his head. As soon as Gigi sees Eira, he's smitten and obeys everything she says. Grandma hands out thermoses filled with hot water and announces it's dinner time. Everyone sits at the table and begins to eat together. Grandma instructs Okarun to pass the sauce. One drop falls on the table, luckily not on Gigi. Then she asks him to pass another sauce. This time, one drop lands on Gigi. He instantly transforms into Evil Eye and flings the entire table. The transformation causes a massive explosion inside Momo's house.